Sorry, guys. We'll restart. I looked over. Give me a sec. It's gonna be one of those days. Everything is broken. Everything is broken. It's a week. We should be good to go. I'll wait till I get the okay in chat and then we'll go. It looks like I'm pinging though on the mic, so we're good. And then we'll kind of get going. Sorry about that. It is what it is. So let's restart that. Good morning and welcome everybody to the Crypto Mining Show, your one-stop shop for all things cryptocurrency news from the perspective of a cryptocurrency miner. I appreciate each and every one of you being here today, and it is a rough day. We have 7-month lows for Ethereum mining profitability, and it's hitting my farm pretty hard, even at low power costs, and I'm sure a lot of y'all are feeling the pain as well. We're going to talk about it. It looks like right now, just to give you guys an idea, that the calculators have not really adjusted for this particular dip. I'm not sure exactly why. And basically, we're going to try to go through it a little bit live here because it's something that I'm just becoming aware of and not something that I've fully researched. So we're going to try to do that a little bit live, but we have a lot of other topics too today, right? So we have a new release from Phoenix Miner, which is quite curious. They have a LHR unlocked now out of nowhere. And if you guys aren't familiar, Phoenix Miner is now basically Spark Pool, which is kind of weird too. And they haven't done a release since November of 2021. And then before that, I think they hadn't done a release since like August or something. So they're not doing a lot of quick releases. A lot of weird things are going on. We'll have to see what's going on with this particular release. I'm super curious though, so we'll talk about that today. We have the Russia-Ukraine war. Bitcoin is decoupling from US tech stocks. Good news there. We're going to be definitely diving into Ethereum versus Bitcoin a lot today. And the facts are that essentially we have fundamental issues with Ethereum going on across the board, not only with Ethereum itself, but with the platforms that are on Ethereum, from Metamask accidentally blocking countries to Opensea blatantly blocking the same countries. Is that related? Is it not related? Should this be being done in cryptocurrency? My answer would be no in the short, but we'll get more details and go over that. And then we have essentially the big revenue drop to talk about as well. And on another note, for me, I was up really late last night. I had some farm issues just in general, but the big one was the CoinMiner C16 Pro did die. I need to make sure that everybody is aware of it as soon as possible. So we're going to mention it right now because it came out, it died literally the day after the review. Talk about timing. I'm exhausted. I tried to basically troubleshoot a little bit. Here's the details. The power light on the NIC lights up. The fans on the power supply come on. I tested voltage at the output of the C19 plug. Everything looks good from that perspective. However, the fans aren't turning on and the activity light on the LAN's not connecting, so I can't get into the firmware. The good news here for the CoinMiner in particular is that it does have a 1-year warranty. And then to follow that up, since it was purchased through BT Miners, I also have their tech support. I have a call scheduled with them tomorrow at 6 p.m. My time. So hopefully I'll get some more details on what the process is going to look like, because that's actually really good for a review, in my humble opinion, is to let you guys know, what the tech support's like. Here's the problem that I will just state right off the bat, full transparency. BT Miners is a sponsor of the channel, and I will probably get some sort of favoritism just basically from that. And that's kind of, I can't really get around that at this point. So while I may get really good, support in my case, I'll look forward to you guys going through maybe similar situations with BT Miners, with CoinMiner, and letting me know if you get the same quality of support that I do in the long run, And that's important too, because we are going to run BT miners ad again today. Typically I have like a view threshold, and it's a once a week ad, but because views are low right now, a lot of these ads are getting doubled up. It does mean my income is getting cut pretty much in half on the sponsorship ad point of view. The channel is struggling because the interest in cryptocurrency is down. I understand that though, because even my interest, like, I love cryptocurrency. I think it can solve a lot of what's going on, but there is a lot of interests elsewhere, distractions, a lot of stress. And so don't feel obligated. Like, if you're experiencing a lot of stress, a lot of times getting away from the screen is going to be best, and getting outside and getting some exercise in. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. I'd rather hear you on Twitter telling me you're taking care of yourself than, trying to support the channel, because I want to make sure that that's the #1 goal here. And I'm still trying to maintain that myself as well. I did my jiu-jitsu last night, got the rolls in, got my workout in, and got my sauna time in. So that's good. It definitely helps from that perspective. Let's go ahead and roll the ad and get into today's show. Today's sponsor is BT Miners. Purchasing mining equipment online can be dangerous. With all of the fake storefronts and scams, it can be hard to find a reliable source. That's why when BT Miners reached out for a channel sponsorship, I started by verifying that ordering and delivery went smoothly with a purchase of my own. If you are looking to purchase ASICs hardware from Bitcoin to Dogecoin miners, they are available for purchase on bt-miners.com. BT Miners is a trusted source by both ASICminervalue.com and cryptominer.com. Follow the affiliate link in the description and use promo code FREESHIPPING2021 for free shipping on your order. Alrighty, so behind me, you guys might notice the Doge lawn over here. Mr. Elon Musk with the Doge dog. Mine actually came in damaged, but I will say this. I messaged them right away. They did a full refund and are sending me another one. I don't even have to send this back. It's through a third party on Amazon, but I was impressed with their customer service, and they have no idea who I am. So, if you want good, basically cryptocurrency canvases, they are expensive because they're canvases. I am going to post, this will be an affiliate link, so I get my 3 to 4% kickback if you do decide to purchase it. But I like it. I think it looks really cool. Basically the frame cracked on the right side during shipment, but they're taking care of me, so we'll be cool there. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic of the day, which is going to be Phoenix Miner release. This is version 6.0 B, which is interesting because I guess there wasn't really a A, but this is the big one from Phoenix Miner, probably the biggest one. They're finally catching up on light hash rate, which is kind of odd because it feels like it's a little late, right? But they implemented partial unlocking of NVIDIA light hash rate cards. By default, they are detected automatically and unlock with the default unlock intensity of 520. If you want to try a higher or lower light hash rate unlock intensity, there is a command line parameter for that. And it will try either more aggressive unlocking or less aggressive, depending on what your setting is, below or above 580. And you can also, the parameter may, and it does say should, be specified for each GPU separately, as some GPUs can support higher unlock speeds. You guys should be pretty familiar with that. I think the automatic intensity setting of like LOL Miner is pretty good at this point. So having to go in there and tweak each one individually, it's still behind the curve from a miner improvement standpoint. But if an NVIDIA light hash rate card locks up because of high light hash rate, the default of 520, the card will be unlocked again and the light hash rate value will be lowered if necessary. They added support for new AMD Windows drivers up to version 22.2.3 and multiple other small fixes and improvements. The updated list of known issues is right here. So the 3050 and the 3080 12 gigabyte have different LHR locks, which I've been experiencing as well. The 3050 will not work in a Hive OS rig, by the way, but it will work in a Windows rig with the latest support. So there's I believe Gminer has the latest support with the most hash rate for the 3050. If you do have one, just a heads up there. It says the latest AMD Linux drivers 21.50 are not supported, and the AMD Linux drivers 21.40.2 aren't verified also. This will be added in the final release of 6.0 next week, so I guess we can look forward to that next week. AMD Linux drivers 21.40.1 has a bug preventing proper settings of clocks and voltages on older cards. This is going to be the Polaris GPUs and then the Vega GPUs here. Given that these drivers are also usually slower than the older drivers for these cards, we recommend using Linux drivers 20.30 for anything older than the RX 6000 series. If you're using Linux drivers 21.40.1 with Radeon 7 cards, you need to add the option FPWN1, and that's in order to have proper fan control. AMD Linux drivers 21.40.1 has finally removed the requirement of PCIe atomics, but there are problems when you try to mix Polaris cards and Vega or newer cards on the same rig. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I typically preach like just going ahead and making sure you have the same cards or as close to the same type of cards per rig. Once you start building out a little bit bigger, like if you can do, you know, all RX 580s in one and all Radeon 7s in another, you're going to have a much better time. Definitely keeping NVIDIA and AMD cards separate, you're going to have a better time. That's just kind of the most reliable way to build rigs, in my opinion. Some NVIDIA cards will report a lot of stale shares under Windows 11. Using the same driver version under Windows 10 resolves the issue. So there you go. That is Phoenix Miner 6.0. The link's down in the description. If you guys need it, go ahead and check it out. Let's get into the big topics for today. Once again, this is one of those things. A lot of people want to say, oh, you're a tech tuber, you can't talk about politics. First of all, I'm a crypto tuber, all right? Second of all, crypto and politics are directly related at this point. There's no getting around that. If you disagree with my opinion, I typically have been pinning those disagreements. I am open for discussion. I don't want to make it feel like I'm not. I know that sometimes I may be having a bad day. Maybe I respond poorly. I apologize for those times. I'm human just like everybody else. And when you're getting blasted with comments all the time, you kind of slip up. That's the way it goes. I'm going to try to do better. That's my commitment to y'all. I want open discussion about this stuff, but we're not going to avoid it because some guy on Twitter says that I shouldn't be talking about it. That's just not going to happen. It's the way it is. And today is going to be no different. We're going to have a lot of discussion surrounding it. So Bitcoin is decoupling from US tech stocks as its volume on Russian exchanges soars. Bitcoin, the world's premier cryptocurrency, finds itself at the center of a growing schism in the world of finance as the West attempts to impose punitive sanctions on the Russian financial system for Putin's unprovoked incursion into Ukraine, while Russian citizens seek to salvage their savings by turning towards Bitcoin. Bitcoin was hammered towards the start of 2022 as the U.S. Federal Reserve's hawkish pivot hammered risk assets in general and high beta growth-heavy tech stocks in particular. Surprisingly, Bitcoin failed to live up to its touted credentials as a viable inflation hedge, suffering the same fate as the U.S. tech stocks and contributing to a confoundingly high correlation between the two. We've been covering this, since the beginning. We've been talking about this relationship. We also made the distinction between Ethereum and Bitcoin. An important distinction here is going to be the fact of, equity versus commodity, and the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum draws these lines out. Please go watch the previous videos if you want more detail on that topic in particular. The point being, though, is that if we take a look at Bitcoin, and frankly, I think a lot of the Bitcoin maxis are correct here. And for maxis, maximalists, people that are pretty much Bitcoin or nothing, I think they are correct here in the fact that it should decouple from tech stocks. Do I think Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies in the like should decouple from tech stocks? And I would say no. And that is primarily because of VC funding, early investment, basically a controlled governance by the developers, etc. That throws it into the bucket of a tech stock as far as how it should be approached from an investment standpoint. Does that mean you don't invest in Ethereum? Not necessarily, and this isn't financial advice. And I think that both can coexist, but I don't think that you should get the two conflated and think that you have the same protections that Bitcoin offers when you are investing in Ethereum. And we're starting to see that play out as we get further and further into these crazy situations on an international scale right now. So there we go. We've attempted to explain the reasons behind this troubling development in a new series of articles that will go live as part of the WCCF Pro initiative. Nonetheless, short-term speculators appear to have provided a significant contribution towards this disconcerting correlation regime that prevailed from early January up until end of February. Against this backdrop, the Russia-Ukraine war seems to have provided a short-term reprieve to Bitcoin bulls. Consider the fact that Bitcoin is essentially flat over the past 1 month, while NASDAQ 100 is still down over 4%. Based on Thursday's closing price. This outperformance by Bitcoin was a result of relatively robust rally that coincided with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. As is evident from the snippet above, Bitcoin's correlation with S&P 500 index is currently hovering at 0.427. This means that 42% of the move in Bitcoin is explained by moves in the S&P 500 index. However, back on the 19th of January, this correlation stood at a whopping 0.674, or 67%. Readers should note that Bitcoin, with its decelerating supply addition, is often touted as digital gold. However, the cryptocurrency's high correlation with equities in general and high beta growth heavy tech stocks in particular over the recent past presented a direct threat to the claims that Bitcoin was a superior hedge against inflation. It is for this reason that we accord significant importance to Bitcoin's latest rally, as it has resulted in a shift in the narrative to one where Bitcoin is touted as a superior hedge against geopolitical shocks as well as financial repression. And that's a good point. I think, like, obviously we're getting pretty into what I would call an opinion piece here, but it would be an opinion piece that I agree with. And if we're taking a look at it objectively, it does appear to show that it has proven to be a hedge against geopolitical shocks and financial repression, and is pretty much the only one right now in the cryptocurrency space that I believe actually solves any of this, right? So there's now a growing consensus that Russian inflows seem to have played an important role in the advent of this new regime. Let's delve deeper. According to Saxo Bank, Russian households held around $200 billion in crypto assets in early February. Moreover, Ukraine has also legalized cryptocurrencies back in February, precipitating greater flows into this nascent sector. As Russia-Ukraine war ratcheted up, so did the incapacitation of the financial sector in both countries, with Ukraine's hammered by violence while Russia's degraded by Western sanctions. Against this backdrop, it is hardly a surprise that Bitcoin ruble exchange volume has been soaring recently, as per a tabulation by the crypto analysis firm Kaiko. The snippet below details Bitcoin ruble price action on Binance. Notice the surge in bullish volume from late February into March. And this is where you can see it. Now, there is a point to be made here that it is not just Bitcoin and ruble pairings here that are seeing this type of spike. Of course, Bitcoin and US dollar is seeing similar spikes. So we'll just take it with a grain of salt. This suggests that with an increasing number of Russian households have been buying up Bitcoin to prevent their savings from becoming worthless as the Russian ruble plowed new all-time lows. Moreover, Bitcoin was trading at 40% premium in Russia towards the start of March, suggesting outsized demand. Finally, Delphi analysts observed in a recent investment note, quote, the supply of Bitcoin held by smaller addresses saw a steep uptick, which could be a result of capital flight from ruble to Bitcoin. It's also important to note that this is what it's supposed to be. The smaller wallets need to spike. The middle class, the lower class, the people that are trying to basically protect themselves from the decisions of governments and banks. And if we can do that, as a people, as an individual, if you were doing that, what you're basically saying is I am no longer going to participate in your society if you decide to manipulate your people. What you are doing is pulling that money out of the war machine. Now that we've established a consistent Russian bid for Bitcoin, the question emerges, how sustainable is the cryptocurrency's current rally? The answer, quite frankly, is a resounding no. While the Russian bid seems to have staved off deeper price plunges, Bitcoin still remains vulnerable, as evidenced by its still considerable correlation with the NASDAQ 100. Moreover, bearish pressures appear to be building again. Consider the fact that Bitcoin failed to turn the $42,000 into a support. This is needed for further price advancement. Crucially, both Bitcoin longs as well as shorts have been suffering from high liquidations, leading to whipsaws. And this is what happens when people get greedy. I mean, let's just be honest about it. We are talking about massive shorting plays, massive leverage plays. And if you're going to be participating within Bitcoin that way and you get wrecked, so be it to a certain extent, right? But the other flip side of that is it is affecting everybody else trying to participate within crypto and specifically Bitcoin. So stop doing that. It's not the point of it. Nonetheless, there is hope for the bulls yet. Bitcoin's estimated leverage ratio, a key metric to gauge speculative demand, has been in a downtrend as funding rates whipsaw. More charts. This means that short-term traders are keeping their distance. More importantly, this paves the way for consolidation and new sustainable bull run, perhaps in Q2 of 2022. If we see a bull run in 2022, it is by far the greatest signal that Bitcoin has broken out of its traditional super cycle. Right now is the time that we're supposed to be hitting the bear market, the crypto winter, etc. It would be really interesting to see Bitcoin completely decouple from it and then also go on a run. And we need to also see Bitcoin decouple from Ethereum, in my humble opinion. Case in point, coming from the Bitcoinist, Iranian, Venezuelan Opensea users blocked from NFT platform over Russia's attacks on Ukraine. Accounts belonging to Opensea users with Iranian IP addresses have been canceled in the face of a growing debate regarding international sanctions and Russia's attack on Ukraine. As pressure mounts on large cryptocurrency exchanges such as Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance to restrict access to their platforms to all Russian users and financial entities, other major participants in the crypto sector are also heeding the warning and addressing possible flaws in their sanctions adaptation measures. Not only cryptocurrency exchanges are impacted by this issue, OpenSea, an NFT marketplace based in the United States, has likewise had to respond to the shift in focus to digital assets. Iranian users blocked. According to various accounts from collectors and artists who have recently been unable to access their service, OpenSea began barring Iranian users on Friday. Numerous dissatisfied traders resorted to Twitter to express their indignation over the surprise measures. A spokesman for OpenSea verified that it does indeed ban users from sanctioned territories. Quote, OpenSea prohibits individuals in areas on the United States sanctions list from accessing our services, including purchasing, selling, or transferring NFTs on Opensea. The marketplace representative told CoinDesk in a statement, quote, "We have zero tolerance policy for sanctioned individuals or entities, as well as those residing in sanctioned nations," end quote, the spokesman added. I feel like I don't have to, you guys already know how I feel about this, right? Or do we have to go into it, right? Do we have to go into how this is against the fundamentals of cryptocurrency, against the fundamentals of Bitcoin, and is a direct attack on decentralization, and therefore not a good thing? And we should not utilize Opensea. It's time to liquidate all the NFTs, move off that platform. Tell them, no, we're not going to support this. Look, I get it. 80% of the users on Opensea of NFTs are on Opensea. And I get that 100% almost of the NFT participants do not give a crap about anything more than making money. So is there a likelihood of this actually taking place, of a shift of the public saying, no, we want decentralized non-fungible tokens? Probably not. But in an idealistic world, and you can keep calling me ideal in the comments, that's fine. No, this is not okay. Venezuela, not spared. Armin, an Opensea user from Iran, also reported receiving an error 404 when attempting to visit the marketplace. And Arafeh, is that right? Narozi said that their verified account was taken down without reason earlier Friday. Meanwhile, developer tool Infura, which helps create decentralized applications like trading platforms and games, has blocked access in Venezuela. As a result, Metamask, one of the most popular wallets and interface tools for users to connect with such applications, has become unusable. Metamask indirectly confirmed the suspicion in a blog post updated at 12 o'clock Eastern time, stressing how users in specific sanctioned areas may receive error messages when attempting to access the wallet. Now, I was retweeting about the MetaMask problem. It does get, there is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here. There seems to be specifically a tie between Infura and MetaMask that is causing this, where Infura is imposing the sanctions, MetaMask necessarily isn't, and you can go in there and change where you're connecting, etc. for MetaMask. So there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to get into a little bit more detail from this CoinDesk article that was posted last night. Crypto industry sanctions woes on full display in MetaMask's Venezuela hiccup. Crypto observers cried foul Thursday when reports surfaced on Reddit that MetaMask, the gateway for many to the world of Ethereum, was made inaccessible to users in Venezuela. The truth of the matter, however, was that Infura, the infrastructure service also owned by Ethereum conglomerate ConsenSys, had imposed new geo-blocks Thursday but applied them too broadly according to their series of tweets. The mistake has been rectified, Infura said, but not before critics levied claims that the episode revealed a point of failure in what is widely billed as the uncensorable internet. And it is. So here's the deal. At the end of the day, what they just showed was their hand, right? At the end of the day, what we know for certain is that Ethereum is censorable, right? The products, the services offered, that are built on top of Ethereum are clearly censorable, and it's a problem. And there's no way around that. Infura closely monitors changes to U.S. sanctions programs announced by the Office of Foreign Assets Control and narrowly tailors its internal controls to comply with the law, a ConsenSys spokesperson told CoinDesk via email. Quote, currently those regions are Iran, North Korea, Cuba, Syria, and the Crimea, Donetsk, and Luhansk regions of Ukraine. So they're even shutting down certain regions in Ukraine. Infura's blockade of these regions comes as regulators ramp up intense scrutiny of the cryptos industry's compliance with sanctions imposed by the U.S. and other national authorities against Russian entities. Regulators and lawmakers like U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, of course, and German Finance Minister Christian Lindner, of course, have said that they're concerned crypto could be a tool used to undermine sanctions. Now, here's what they're concerned of. It's a tool to undermine the war machine. That's what it's a tool to do. Industry participants, such as exchanges, have said they will block sanctioned individuals, but for the most part, they have not blocked entire nations outright. Metamask accesses the Ethereum blockchain through Infura by design. Unless altered by users, Metamask's default endpoints make it subject to Infura's geographic no-go zones. Crypto Twitter was reminded of that reality Thursday after Infura mistakenly threw too wide a dragnet. Rumors swirled over complete blockade to Venezuela. Commentators alleged incorrectly that Metamask had been barred in a country where crypto booms and where the U.S. has imposed long-standing but not absolute sanctions. Quote, in changing some configurations as a result of the new sanction directives from the United States and other jurisdictions, we mistakenly confirmed the settings more broadly than they needed to be, Infura said Thursday in a tweet. Yeah, but you can still do it. Infra acknowledged the uproar, apologized for its oversight, and said service had been restored to inadvertently impacted regions, though it did not name Venezuela. Metamask parroted the apology in its own tweet, explaining it relies on Infura for access to the blockchain. So what you do have to take into account here is that it's like an entity behind Metamask, not necessarily Metamask. So Metamask is still a decentralized tool. Kieran Daniels, CEO of crypto startup Smart DeFi, told CoinDesk in a Twitter message, it's just their default connections aren't. So basically, users are able to set their own endpoints by going into app settings, Metamask said in a tweet. It shared a guide on how to do so. We'll be covering this guide on the channel for you guys. It's on my list to do. And we'll go over it and make a video guide too, because I think it's important. Sanctions season. Coming amid a global debate on crypto and sanctions, the episode highlighted the seemingly conflicting realities of running uncensorable financial services through centralized rails. Companies like Infura provide crucial developer and infrastructure services to an array of Ethereum-based projects, but it's also a U.S. company subject to federal law. When Infura implements restrictions, as it did on Thursday, the ripple effects are felt far and wide. Quote, as a centralized entity funded by investors like JP Morgan, infrastructure providers like Infura are subject to regulatory concerns, end quote. Josh Nuroff, CEO of decentralized cloud services company Anchor, said in a statement. Quote, this over-reliance on centralized service providers goes against everything that Web3 stands for and is meant to be, and represents a central point of failure that shouldn't exist in the first place, end quote, and amen. All right. Anchor Incorporated is itself a U.S. company. When asked if this meant Anchor must also follow sanction directives from U.S. Treasury Department, Nuroff said yes. Here's the but. Quote, but the team is working as quickly as possible towards transitioning to a protocol that exists in the network and isn't run by a company, but a DAO, end quote. All right. I'm going to hold you to that, mister. I'm going to hold Anchor to that. The confusing chain of events on Thursday was only made more so by a repeatedly updated troubleshooting page on MetaMask's website. When CoinDesk first reported on this story, that page was headlined, quote, why MetaMask and Infura cannot serve certain areas, end quote, fueling a speculation that MetaMask was itself implementing blocks. A later update narrowed the headline to Infura. Quote, by default, MetaMask accesses the blockchain via Infura, which is unavailable in certain jurisdictions due to legal compliance, end quote, the page read late Thursday. Quote, when you attempt to use MetaMask in one of those regions, end quote, users will receive an error message. A chorus of commenters on Twitter insisted that the whole ordeal was proof that MetaMask was not quite as decentralized as they thought. They're obviously changing their headlines from their own website too, to basically move the blame from themselves over to Infura, because it clearly sounds like they did have a discussion with Infura. To me, okay? And shifting the blame isn't going to go unnoticed, okay? I want to make that clear. I want to make clear to MetaMask right now that shifting the blame does not give you a free pass. We saw what you were trying to do. We're pretty certain that what was posted on your website was accurate at a given time. And therefore, there is a loss of trust in using your product. Left unsaid was the fact that Infura and therefore MetaMask have long followed OFAC sanctions guidance. Crypto users in Iran, North Korea, Cuba, and Syria were excluded well before those parts of Ukraine. Okie doke. So, it's really going to come down to essentially, and look, I'm going to have the opinion, I understand that I have the opposite opinion of pretty much everybody else on crypto, everybody else within the cryptocurrency influencer space. And I think that in general, regardless of if you agree with the opinion or not, the discussion of it is paramount when we're discussing cryptocurrency. And look, like, unfortunately, it just looks like I get to be the one that takes these positions. Regardless, you could say I'm playing devil's advocate. I don't think so. I truly believe what I'm saying. But I also expect disagreement. All right. So, is this resulting in the Ethereum mining revenue drop? I don't know, but let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum mining revenue drop, which is the big topic for today, because this is a mining channel. So Ethereum mining revenue dropped significantly. ETH mining difficulty has also dropped to the lowest level in 4 weeks. The price of the crypto asset plunged below $2,800 on Friday. ETH mining is getting less profitable amid the network upgrade of Ethereum. The recent data published by on-chain analysis platform Glassnode shows that the ETH miner revenue has touched a low of $1.5 million recently, the lowest level in 7 months. Quote, Ethereum miner revenue just reached a 7-month low of 1.59 million, right? So previous 7-month low was 1.63 million. Was observed on the 4th of August 2021, Glassnode noted. ETH mining difficulty has also reached its lowest level in 1 month. The overall activity across the Ethereum network decreased in the past few weeks in tandem with its price. On the 4th of March 2022, median ETH transactions volume touched its lowest level in more than 4 weeks. Transaction volume for the 7-day moving average just reached a 1-month low of 0.081 ETH, the company added. ETH faced price challenges throughout the last 3 months. The digital asset made a recovery at the end of February and topped the level of $3,000 in US. However, bearish traders remained in control and ETH failed to retain the level. On Friday, Ethereum dropped below $2,800. Let's talk about the ETH network. While most of the indicators across the ETH network dropped in the last few weeks, some Ethereum addresses kept accumulating the second largest cryptocurrency. For instance, the total number of Ethereum addresses holding at least 0.1 ETH reached an all-time high of approximately 7 million. Quote, number of addresses holding 0.1 of coins just reached an all-time high of 6,966,634. Previous all-time high of 6,966,041 was observed on the 3rd of March 2022, end quote, Glassnode highlighted. Moreover, the total number of ETH addresses with non-zero balances also touched an all-time high of 76 million today. Quote, Ethereum has seen a supply rise heading to exchanges since the war. We have also noted that trader returns are unusually high and MCD debt is being reduced rapidly as longer-term traders have sold at a loss. I just want you to think about why long-term traders would sell Ethereum at a loss while at the same time Bitcoin is getting purchased and short sellers are getting liquidated. I want you to put those two together and just think about it and let me know in the comments what conclusion you come to from this information. Whew. All right, so let's go ahead and get into mining profitability a little bit more. When we're talking about Ethereum profitability right now, it is very low. And there's not a lot of correlation or the numbers are not being fully reported in what to mine, essentially. But before we get into that, for my mining profitability of the week, well, we are down. We are not making any Bitcoin, and that sucks right now because the difficulty of the network is down and the price is up. This was going to kind of be my savior for the farm over the past couple days, and I do not have it. It hurts really bad, especially because unfortunately, what it does expose is the problem with ASIC mining. Yet another one. We've discussed some of the others before. One of the ones that is obviously being brought to my attention at this point is your investment in a single rig is basically either you could do, $8,000 to $10,000. Let's just say $10,000 on a cryptocurrency miner for Bitcoin, an ASIC miner, or you could do $10,000 on a GPU miner. In most cases, for the GPU miner, you may have one card die or something like that. You can pull that card out, that miner will continue to run. If you have 10,000 invested into an ASIC miner, if that ASIC miner dies, you are and that is the way it is. We are down $20 a day right now on revenue on the farm, and it hurts. And it is a huge investment that I'm making no profit from, no revenue from, and we have to get it troubleshooted. And that's the way it is. And that is a glaring issue, in my opinion, that ASIC mining has. In addition to the others that we've already talked about on the channel, like no resaleability and so on, right? So unfortunately, while I'm preaching a little bit to the choir about Bitcoin maximalism, there's a glaring issue with the consensus mechanism because of ASICs. And that's how I see it. Unfortunately, we don't have very many alternate options. It's not like there is another Bitcoin necessarily. Yes, there are correlations between with Ravencoin. I get that. You have the no emissions, etc. There are other no emissions coins. For the most part, you still have some sort of dev fees being played into a lot of these, a lot of other glaring issues for the GPU mineable coins. In an ideal world, you do have Bitcoin being GPU mineable. But that is not we don't live in the ideal world. So I guess that it is what it is, and that's what we have to deal with. Let's look at Crazy Pool's profitability. Yesterday, we were down to $169.66 for the day. We have a 6-hour average hash rate of 5.36 gigahash. Reported 5.48 gigahash right now. So pretty much the same. We earned 0.063 ETH. By far the worst day I've had in mining since we got back in August of 2020. So that's where it's at, and that's kind of how this is going to play out. I am on Crazy Pool right now. We've already talked about why I moved off of Flex Pool. If you want to join me on Crazy Pool, feel welcome to come on over here. I'm still waiting to hit a jackpot. Their jackpot stuff is pretty cool. You can hit a jackpot of getting an extra 0.1 ETH. That's kind of nice. As far as their block distribution that goes out to the miners, it's good. The only problem really here with Crazy Pool that I'm running into in particular, of course, is that it doesn't have the volume of blocks solved that something like Ethermine has. So just keep all of that in mind if you do switch to a smaller pool, but also smaller pools equal essentially more decentralization. If you want to pick another smaller pool, we'll talk about those here in a second too. I am mining Veriscoin as well on basically 5 rigs. We'll kind of give you the lowdown there. We made, $1.51 yesterday on it. It's not a lot. We're not making a ton. We made $3.80 in the past 48 hours, and we haven't been mining it for a week. What I really like about it is that it seems to be really easy to mine. Like, we're not overheating the processors. We are getting load average notices on Hive OS, but that's kind of expected. And this seems to be more low cache friendly. So let me explain that, right? So the 1660 rig here is actually a 4770 at 8.44 mega hash a second, which is pretty good. The 3600 XT is going to be 13.98 mega hash. So you can see here we're scaling by cores. And I really like that concept over scaling by cache right now, because look, the 5800X doing 22 mega hash a second. And then on the 1950X, we're doing 34.62 mega hash a second. If we put this 1950X on pretty much anything else and compared it to like the 5800X or the 3600 XT, it would be underperforming due to its limited cache. So it does perform very well on this particular algorithm. The SOT test here is a 8700K, so not dissimilar than the 4770 as far as amount of cores, and you can see that they're pretty much exactly the same. It's just interesting to look at these algorithms, see the differences and so on. The only reason I'm a Verus fan is primarily because they do have a lot of different mining options, cell phones, everything else. And I'm kind of big on that. We've talked about it before. We talked about how to mine it if you want to go look at that. So it's kind of where we end all of my stuff. Let's talk about what to mine. All right, so what we have here is the 3090 with the adjusted Zell hash rate at 115 solutions a second, provided you're using mini-Z at this point. That puts Ethereum on what to mine at $3.50 a day after power. That is not what I'm seeing. I am not seeing $3.50 a day. All right, if we take a look at Flux, what we're seeing essentially is $2.47 a day. Now, granted, we would have to have all 3000 series cards, but 3000 series cards have about the same Ethereum hash rate as they have Zell hash rate. So if my entire farm was that, right, we could basically say that we would have, let's just say, let's go with 5 gigahash, right, on ET hash, and let's go with 5 gigahash or 5,000 solutions a second on Zell hash. And what you see here is essentially it reporting on Ethereum is $1.86 a day after power, and Flux at 136.60 a day after power. We're showing about $20 a day more than what I'm actually seeing in the pool. Now that could also be, I could say, okay, that's Crazy Pool for being a small pool, right? But here's the problem. If we look at mining pool profits, Crazy Pool for today, for the last day, is in the #1 spot. So in theory, what we earned for the past 24 hours is the best possible that we could have earned compared to all other pools. And it's not showing correctly on Ethereum. Does that mean we start switching? Not necessarily, because if a lot of people start switching, we're going to start having a lot of other issues with difficulty, like on Flux or Ethereum Classic or whatever it may be. So just stay frosty out there right now. I think some changes are definitely coming down the pipeline. I think Ethereum is being exposed at this point. And I think it's being exposed for what it is, a commodity. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I just don't think that your long-term holders are going to provide the same support that they provide to Bitcoin. That's it. This is the best way I can explain that. Let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin hash rate, which we've seen this difficulty decrease. We've seen a hash rate decrease from the 2nd of 202. We've gone down another exahash. We had a big dip down below 200 exahash earlier this morning. It's starting to build back up. That was at 1 a.m. We had a dip down below 200 exahash. Now, of course, a lot of this is, it does go back to not just sanctions, but legality in terms of basically the way China is approaching it, along with a lot of other countries, Russia and so on. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Now, as far as I understand, Ethereum's down. That's what they're saying in difficulty. I don't see it. We check this every day. It's still at 1 petahash. Now, that doesn't mean the difficulty is not going down, because the difficulty is going down a little bit. But why is the difficulty going down? Well, because there's not a lot of transactions on the network compared to what it usually is. So what that results in is, if we take a look at the block, just to give you guys an idea, is a lot of low reward blocks. 2 ETH, 2 ETH, 2 ETH, 2 ETH, 2 ETH, 2 ETH, 2 ETH. A little bit above it, burning everything else. And basically, the last big block on Crazy Pool was on December 25th at 17. Not a lot of big blocks going through, okay? That's going to play a part. Like from the mining perspective, what you're looking for is high activity transactions. And yeah, you may not want those because you like these 60 GUI gas fees that are like, you're getting those payouts super cheap on the layer 1. Look, get to a layer 2 and pray for high fees as a miner. That's just for profitability what you're looking for, okay? Let's go ahead and look at some alternatives. Let's look at Flux. Flux has been experiencing a lot of solo pool spikes. It looks like we had another one yesterday right here on minerpool.org. So those solo pool spikes coming from NiceHash are still very relevant. So that is something to watch out for. That is also going to basically, it's a volatile coin to mine. So usually we look at volatility as price, right? Like Bitcoin's volatility price, Ethereum volatility price. There is another factor to volatility from the miner's perspective, and that is huge spikes in hash rates from solo mining or from NiceHash rentals on smaller cap coins. And what that means is, if you're mining Flux right now, you basically will have huge increases and decreases in profitability depending on how much NiceHash rental is going through. So what are your options as far as that? You want to mine NiceHash, or you want to mine basically Flux or whatever, Zelhash? Do you just go to NiceHash, right? Well, the profitability is higher on NiceHash because people are doing these huge rentals for solo blocks. There's an argument there. At the same time, you're not going to get paid out in Flux. You're going to get paid out in Bitcoin, but you could take that Bitcoin and trade it for Flux. That is an option as well. Stay frosty, stay on your toes, pay attention to these things, right? And we're going to keep covering them as much as we can on the channel so you're aware of where these markets are headed. Let's take a look at Ravencoin. Ravencoin's at 3.66 terahash a second. It is still down. It keeps dropping further and further on the total hash rate. It doesn't seem to have found its happy medium. We also have a difficulty drop that corresponded yesterday. Let's take a look at Ergo. On Ergo, we're at 14 terahash a second, staying pretty consistent. Two pools still haven't updated their nodes. And we are getting spikes, though, in two miners solo. So there is some spikes definitely going on there. 1.15 terahash yesterday. Another spike at 500 gigahash. And none today. So that's where that's at. Let's look at mining pool profits for the past 90 days. Crazy pool in first, flex pool in second, mining pool hub in third. For the last 60 days, mining pool hub in first, flex pool in second, crazy pool in third. For the last 30 days, mining pool hub in first, flex pool in second, ether mine in third. For the last 21 days, mining pool hub in first, flex pool in second, ether mine in third. For the last 14 days, mining pool hub in first, nano pool in second, flex pool in third. For the last 7 days, crazy pool in first, flex pool in second, ether mine in third. For the last 3 days, ZET in first, crazy pool in second, mining pool hub in third. And for the last day, crazy pool in first, nano pool in second, and two miners in third. One of the things I wanted to point out too, by the way, first of all, which is interesting, we've talked about this before, but there have been pools that have offered me money because I influence, unfortunately, the hash rate depending on what dashboard we're showing. I want to make it clear that you guys need to test your ping, etc. I want to make it also clear that I have not accepted any of these, and I understand where they're coming from as far as like wanting to pay someone to mine to their pool so that they can get more hash rate. But I do not think that that is ethically sound for my channel and my situation, so I will not do it. That being said, as far as Crazy Pool goes in particular, I had a lot of issues with them the initial first time that I tried it because they had really strict banning policies that were banning my miners, frankly, because I was mining from a hotspot that was giving individual public IPs to every miner. Caused a lot of issues for me. Then on top of that, it's a little bit more difficult to configure Crazy Pool because they go off of the NiceHash stratum. So you do have to make stratum changes within your miner to basically be able to mine to Crazy Pool. If that's a guide that you guys would like, let me know. I am going to be doing a follow-up on Crazy Pool, but basically there's a little bit of problem from them, a little bit of a misunderstanding from me, and that's why we had that I was no longer mining the Crazy Pool video. I am back on Crazy Pool. Everything's been pretty consistent, had no disconnections. Everything's functioning fine now, thanks to their loosening the ban policies. And then of course, me actually having a good internet connection now, as far as we're not on a hotspot with multiple public IPs. And then in addition to that, me understanding their stratum requirements on a per miner basis. Basically, there's different command line arguments that you're going to put in for basically every miner, whether that be G miner or LOL miner, so on and so forth. So I think that's as transparent and upfront as I can be about that whole situation, and mine where you're going to get, you know, the best return, and we'll go from there. Let's talk about the ASIC miners. The gold shell KD6 is still remaining pretty good for Kadena at $130 US. The KD5 at $88 US a day. And then of course we have our typical Ethereum ETH hash coins, just our miners, ASICs popping up here. And then the Antminer L7 at $50 US a day. If we scroll down, what are we looking at for the S19 Pro? We're looking at $15 a day on mining rig rentals, or $13 a day on Digibyte. As far as I can tell, it's a little bit better than that. And that's due to the recent decrease in difficulty and so on. Over at BT Miners, who were the sponsor for the day, not a lot of pricing changes at this point. What we do have is the same sales going on. You have your M21S, which is known as the tank, for $3,800 US. You have the S19 Pro. It had its recent drop of $500 to $10,500. I know their margins are getting very skinny on some of these. That's going to be the nature of the beast, I think, here for a little bit, but it's does it tank and go further and a lot of these ASICs get forced to be sold for even cheaper? Possibly. I don't really know exactly for sure though. Coin miner, the one that we have that's dead right now, starts out at 6,800 for the 83 terahash. That will be a 3 board model, and then the 92 and the 98 would be 4 board models. That's important to note because the hash boards are very close together, and there can be cooling issues with the 4 board models. And I have not tested a 3 board model. Hopefully we'll get one in. That's pretty much where we're at as far as all those go. You do still have your Dogelon, miners, your Gold Shell LT5s. They have some in stock. They have the L7s in stock for 25,000. Still feels pretty steep. The Antminer L3 Plus feels pretty steep at 15.99 as well. Oh, it does look like the KD box did have a price drop a little bit further. It wasn't 9,000. I believe it was like 7,000, 6,000, somewhere around there. It looks like it's down to 5,300 at this time. So there is a sale on that as well. And that is pretty much it. We did have new announcements from Gold Shell. I believe. No! Don't capture me. What are you, Lex Friedman? If you guys haven't watched the Lex Friedman, Mark Zuckerberg podcast yet, I highly recommend it. It was pretty funny and informational. Yes, so I did want to mention that we have the Lite series from Gold Shell. These are supposedly, from my understanding, and you got CK here and you got HS, so Handshake, and I don't remember CK. Let's click into it. Home miners that are basically high-powered home miners. So you're looking at the ability to run on 120 volt if you want to. You're looking at, that means that you're going to be under that 80% threshold of 1600 watts, basically coming from the wall. Just so 1200 watts here, for example. This would be Nervos network. Now I remember for the CK Lite. No, you're going to make me refresh this. And then the one I'm interested in would be the Handshake Lite. I have been mining Handshake. I do like Handshake. This would be 1360 gigahash a second at 1250 watts. And it looks like you could do Psi, which is interesting. Is that dual multi-algorithm? So you get Handshake and Psi coin. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you get to do it both at the same time. I'll have to look into it more. Then that's 2900 gigahash a second at 700 watts. I think it depends on which one you want to do. It says there's like a tutorial here, but I can't. Okay, about HNS Psycoin tutorial. Nope. Okay. Anyways, these are ones I'm interested in for sure. I don't know if I'll ever get one. Looks like we can purchase the HS Lite. My problem, of course, is, to be frank, I do not have $3,200. That's to drop on that right now. What would that end up being, though? Let's go ahead and look at just profitability. Handshake mining calculator. Should be miner stat. 1360 gigahash at 1250 watts. Calculate that out. $4.70 a day for basically, what was it, 3,200, somewhere around there. let's say roughly 749-day ROI, which seems to be kind of the going rate for ASICs. So in that case, like, I say I don't have $3,200. It's specifically you need to take into account, like, it would be better from my perspective to purchase a Bitcoin miner, which is a little bit more guaranteed, I think, than all the altcoins that has a 2-year ROI, than purchasing something else that has a 2-year ROI. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's get into questions and answers for the day. As always, super chats are never required, always appreciated, and the first to be read because they are the easiest to read. If you would like me to answer a question, make sure that you also go ahead and tag at Son of a Tech. It will make the orange at the beginning so that I can see the question a little bit more clear. So we do have a $100 super chat from Stephen Cook, and I want to say thank you very much. That's very generous. He says, I live in San Antonio. I'm at 2 gig hash. My wife said no more at home noise. Want to rent me space. I'm a 20-year business owner and I don't cash out. I mine and keep all my crypto. Either way, thanks for the show. So I will say this. We are working on the 3-phase power. When the 3-phase power is in and I have basically a unit that has ventilation and additional power that I cannot afford to fill up, I will be looking at basically doing some hosting. There's a lot of work that goes into that. I want to try to make sure that the channel doesn't suffer from overloading my plate because my plate feels pretty full right now. I am pulling, I do this all myself. I'm pulling between testing, the mining farm, content creation. It's not abnormal for me to be working 7 days a week, 8 to 16 hours a day, just depending. This weekend, I'm going to take a couple days off because it's my son's birthday. So that's kind of happening, but I'm still, even tomorrow night, working with, tech support from BT miners. So even that, I still have little obligations that I got to hit up. But I am looking at that, and that is something that I want to do. The other hosting option is going to be ProDirect mining, which we had on the channel here. They say 8 cents a kilowatt hour all in. I think what I'm not clear on is what they require as far as mining rigs are concerned. Because I think they require that you utilize their octo miners. And I understand the reasoning behind that. Would that be what I did? I'm not sure yet at this point, but we'll have to see. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I'm moving spaces or if 3-phase is coming to me, or if I'm going to 3-phase, how many amps are getting installed, all of that sort of thing. I also want to say thanks for the membership from Rabid Red. And then we are going to go ahead and get rid. I didn't realize we didn't have a moderator. So we are going to get rid of this TRX mining spam here for you guys. And that'll help. Sorry about that. Let's see. So Trading Nickel says, as Son of a Tech, I usually think of ETH as more like a stock than a commodity. It's like silver is for computers, like ETH is for DeFi though, but essentially managed with an appearance of decentralization. Yeah, I mean, it's clear that they're showing their hand that it's not decentralized, right, at this point. Andreas11G says, as Son of a Tech, is it possible that in the future ETH will regret for switching to proof of stake and going to try to go back to proof of work? No. It's possible they regret it. Possible that they go back to proof of work. Probably not. I think if anything, they're going to regret it from a financial perspective. All right, Nicholas Kane, excuse me, I'm bugging my throat. Help me, Doge Lord. All right. Nicholas Kane says, at Sunvatech, I'm mining with 353070s and 13060 or an 113060 Ti's, all non-light hash rate, total of 2.7 gigahash a second. As long as I keep on hitting 2 blocks every 24 hours, I'm profiting more solo mining Flux than pool mining ETH. And that's a very important point to make. So I guess my question would be, how reliably are you hitting 2 blocks every 24 hours? Are those spikes of rentals hurting your chances there as well? Fun Dumb says, why don't you solo mine? I have solo mined before. I am considering it actually at this point because, well, frankly, ETH is not performing that well. MCW says, ask Sunvatech, it's ultra interesting how you and Voscoin totally disagree on Dogecoin going proof of stake. You should do an interview with him on this topic. It would be epic. I don't mind, having Voscoin on the channel. I'll shoot him a message and see if he wants to come on for a morning show. I'm still waiting on confirmation from Bitsby Trippin on when he's coming on. He told me he would come on, and we're supposed to discuss essentially Ravencoin. So then having Vosk on to discuss Dogecoin, I think that would be a lot of fun. Daniel Ring says, ask Sunvatech, 3 boards are usually clocked way higher, therefore more heat and problems. So it's a give and take on that. I guess it depends on which level, how much terahash on the 3 boards you have as well. But good point. The problem is like we're talking about so stacked together though too. Dan Sand says, ask Sunvatech, what is your strategy for airflow, ideal temp inside the shed, and which temps are ideal for your GPUs? No more than what temp? So, if we're talking ASICs, that's a little bit easier. 120 degrees, like ambient temperature, pretty good. For GPUs, unfortunately with GPUs, what you have is a variance in cooling potential on the coolers themselves. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to approach this. I'll let you know when I get there. 120 degrees, like ambient temperature with proper airflow. Seems to be no issue for a majority of my rigs unless fans start failing or thermal pads get stiff. XRP the GOAT says, at Sunvatech, I hit a solo block on ETH last night with 1.75 gigahash. 0% luck. Not trying to flex, just super excited. You and Red Panda are the OGs. Keep it up. Congratulations, man. That is amazing. And that is a cool, almost $6,000. Trade that for some Bitcoin. Not financial advice, just a joke. Keep on mining. Cars and Crypto at Sunvatech. What is your opinion on StockX launching an NFT marketplace today? Their NFTs are digital copies of actual items that they have placed in a vault. Sounds interesting. I haven't looked into it at this point, so I definitely will add that to my list of things to research. What time is it? 11 a.m. Let me see something, because she never told me. Let me see how long I have, guys. Suzanne? We have extra time for more questions and answers, guys. We have more time for questions and answers. So let's get into it. Jorge says, how will you prepare your farm for Texas heat? I mined with 3 to 4 gigahash a second in 150 square foot with no AC. It's all about CFM and airflow, and you're fine. Josh Jackson says, at Sunvatech, what are your thoughts on an Octominer only accepting crypto or bank transfers? Look, that's pretty common right now within the crypto sale space. I know that like PD Miners, for example, only uses Coinbase Commerce. Get rid of the bank transfers and only do crypto. You're already in crypto. Live the life, right? Racco says, ask Tech, what would you say would be a good GPU for long-term mining with 20 to 25 kilowatt hour price? 20 to 25 cents a kilowatt hour? You're going to want to go as efficient as possible, in my humble opinion. So 6600 XTs are really efficient. On the NVIDIA side, you know, you do have the A series, A2000, A4000. Nick Brown says, hey, at Son of a Tech, I recently bought a used 5600 XT with 4 on the system. Something is causing the PC to hard crash. Have you turned off all your overclocks? Dennis Matovich says, at Son of a Tech, do you use hybrid mining on Veriscoin? No, not currently. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Sanavec says, at Son of a Tech, could you possibly point to the metals on the wall and flex? I have armpit stains already. Come on, bro. Speaking of, keep calm, mine on t-shirts down below the video through Teespring. I'm wearing one right now. I love it. But there's that. And we sort of flexed for you. Dan Sand says, at Son of a Tech, does adding the show on Spotify still a go? Can't wait since I have a subscription. No ads. Thank you. Yes. It's a lot of work. It's so much work. It's hard to explain exactly how much work goes into that. Other than, well, once again, say I'm the only person doing it. Actually, I bought a Synology, and part of the reason we got the Synology is I'm out of disk space, and that's going to be alleviating some of that. And I got to get basically all the episodes of the Crypto Mining Show uploaded over there. All the thumbnails have to be converted from 16:9 to 4:4, essentially, to a square. That's going to take time. I already am overloading my thumbnail guy, and, you know, I pay him kind of based on what the channel makes. So unfortunately, like for him right now, I'm like, here's like, we did 93, I had 92 thumbnails, right? Last month. We're doing a lot of work, and it's just hard. I'm trying. It's going to take a little bit for me to get all those up. At this point, though, I am thinking that I'm probably going to go convert all the thumbnails myself, come up with a design, because I'm not sure I can put that burden on him at this point. Mark's Barbell says, ask Son of a Tech, what brand of fans do you like for the 5700s and thermal pads? I just replace them with whatever fans came on them. You can usually get them through Amazon. Thermal pads for those, the basic blue thermal pads from like Amazon are fine to keep them cool. If I'm moving to like 3000 series, then I get the premium thermal pads from like Thermal Grizzly, etc. P&D Custom Service says, at Son of a Tech, when GPU prices crash, how do you think you will feel about the value of your farm dropping so much? Are you doing anything to hedge the value? Like we've talked about, we are moving into ASICs. The other things that we are doing is working on hosting. And the last part, which, look, I'm trying. It looks like we do have a distributor, which will potentially give me a line of credit for GPU sales. And I'm going to try to get basically a lot of GPUs to sell for to y'all. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to try. I'm trying. Lucas Oates says, ask Son of a Tech, would you trade some Bitcoin into Flux to have enough for new nodes? Me personally, I don't know. Scott Schultz, thanks for the $5. Says, just want to show my support for the direction you're taking with the channel. Profits is profits, but teaching principles is more important. Cheers. Cheers, good sir, and thanks for the support. Dave Jack says, could you get CCXD and then Red Fox on the show? I could message them potentially. Talon79 says, ask Tech, if ever exists, get some cheap help. Yeah, look, margins are really rough right now. Really rough. I have, a lot of, I'm a dad. Look, I'm a dad trying to provide for my family, and margins are really tight. It's the way it is. We just keep working. That's it. Dave Jack says, ask Tech. I'm a GRWO room engineer. Moving air HVAC is your specialty. Hit me up anytime you got an idea and advice if I ever need it. Cool. Thanks. Dan Sand says, ask Tech opinions. I think you meant, okay. Well, okay. Dan Sand says, ask Tech opinions on getting into Flux nodes. Easy enough. Worth it. I don't have any opinions on it right now. I'm saving up for one, then hopefully we'll get one, but I don't have enough at this moment. Patrick says, ask Tech, I recently switched from Ethermine to 2 miners with a Bitcoin payout and really feel like it was the right decision. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to get Bitcoin payout and you want to still support a network without going through NiceHash, it makes a lot of sense. Detroit Iris says, ask Tech, GPU for sale, regular 3000 series or both. So I have to go through basically, so essentially to become a distributor for like a lot of these companies, you have to like fill out a whole bunch of stuff. Part of that is finishing taxes. So the timeline really is looking like May, somewhere around there, where I would basically be able to show them revenue for both of my businesses, establish a line of credit, and then open up the partnership with them. I already have Shopify set up, so that's pretty easy. And then we would basically be purchasing whatever we could get through them because of wanting to get new GPUs at the kind of the best pricing and hash rate to power. The first set that looks really appealing through them that I would probably go with would be like the A2000s. And then sell those on the site. Worm24 says, ask Tech, any thoughts on Ravencoin development? I haven't really looked into too much in recent times. I mean, obviously, baking in NFTs to layer 1 is beneficial. And hopefully that continues to get easier and easier to use. Do I think NFTs are the direction? I don't know. Racco says, ask Tech, do you think ETH Classic will battle ASICs after ETH 2.0? No, I think they're going to take the free security. Dave Jack says, ask Tech, what about going to a tech school and getting some students in there? So I have had like people that offered to intern and stuff. The protecting the assets and making sure, I always have had, pretty, I don't know. I've been stolen from a lot, so I have very low trust levels. Talon79, okay. Detroit Iris says, ask Tech, clipping path will do editing for less than $1 an image. Nice. All right, I'll check that out. Storm33 says, ask Tech, which is the video that you talked about your flex pool change? Yeah, I can link that to you. So it wasn't a live stream, but I'll get you the clip. I believe we clipped it we posted the clip 24 hours ago. And there you go. There's the clip. We have a $20 super chat from Blockchain Biscuit. Thank you for your generous donation. Says, have you looked into Impervious browser? I saw a tweet about it being announced at Bitcoin Conference 2022. Do you think it might compete with market share with Flux? I'll take a look at it. I haven't taken a look at it. Is it full Web 3.0 or what? Sounds like a browser to me. So that's what you called it, a browser. So I guess I'm a little confused. Bossman says, that's on the tech. Do you think a custom CoinMine 1.7 GPU rig would be a good idea for a starter mining rig? I don't know which CoinMine rig you're talking about. I still think that like the best starter rig is always just a gaming PC. MCW says, at Son of a Tech, Voxcoin versus Son of a Tech equals, is Doge mining going proof of stake? Vox says no. Son of a Tech says yes. Which answer is true? That's kind of funny because look, I even said it before. Vitalik is the one that they're saying is going to do it, and he can't even get his own project over to proof of stake. So I think like if that's the argument, then Vosk wins. Daniel Ring says, ask Son of a Tech, please be careful with debt. We want you around for a while. I haven't taken out any debt, but I am running skinny. Mark's Barbell says, ask Son of a Tech, have you thought about crowdfunding to raise money to make a large purchase on GPUs or ASICs? Well, that's what I'm working on, right? So look, so the way distribution would work and the way like even like PD mining does it, right? Because I had a long discussion with them, is like you get those orders from the distribution center and then you just sell them. So your worst case scenario is you don't sell enough units and you ship those back. It's a little bit different than either outright buying a whole bunch of them or, you know, having it shipped through the distribution center. There's a few different ways to do it. But what you're looking at is basically having enough stock to actually sell. So yes, that is in turn what I am working on. I don't think it needs to be crowdfunded to do that though. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I kind of want to go out to the farm and get my 1063 gigs mining Flux. Kind of want to look at moving 5700s over to Flux. Thinking about solo mining Flux. Yeah. I don't know. Definitely thinking about solo mining Flux. Feels a little risky though. Also, I have a lot of 5700s that I'm not sure are going to do good. I don't think are going to do good on Flux at all. Which is kind of a problem. If we look at, where is it? Let's look at this real quick. 5700 XTs, they're saying are at 31 hash a second on Flux. Let's move a 5700 XT rig over to Flux real quick. Let's see what it gets. Where's one that's been reasonably stable? Rigo 1. Reasonably stable. Reasonably stable. This one's getting, looks like it's not as stable. Let's go ahead and hit the flight sheet. Flux, Flux, Flux. That's Flux solo mining, LOL miner. That should work. Is Flux better on... Let's see. Trying to recall. Would Flux be better on Red Team Miner? I guess we'll have to try it on both, huh? Pew. Let's look. Let's see what it does, yeah? We'll just live We'll do it live. Well, they're not XFX GPUs. Those are all XFS flashed. So the BIOS that I modded is XFX. To be clear. What I think will happen with Zilcoin, I really don't know. Hi, Stark. So Chatpot says that he was solo mining Flux for a while, and then Nice Hash Rental sent the difficulty through the roof. So that would be the metric you look at for a pool to choose. That makes sense. No, I'm aware of parallel assets, but those are calculated into the price. They're calculated into what to mine. Making sure that everything's good. I just went ahead and did this. Oh. I'll have to close the connection, but. Boop. Yes, Zell rebranded to Flux. I don't know. These don't seem to be doing anything. We'll give it a second. I think Team Red Miner's better. But I don't remember. I feel like I've tested this before. Yeah, and the wallet is still Zelcore wallet too. What happens when you do it live? No solutions a second, baby. None. All right. Let's see what changes I'm going to make. I think what we're going to do is change the miner. Let's see, what miners do you have available? G miner? I guess it is LOL miner. Team Red Miner doesn't support it. That's right. You do 2 miners solo. They're only on EU. So that sucks. Cancel. Let's remove the overclocks. I'm going to remove the core underclocks. Those would need to get removed anyways. And then maybe we try G minor. But we did have that core all the way down to 1325. First, let me look at chat. I'm going to look at chat here in just a second. I see a couple things that are Control AD, miner. Ooh, come on. Miner, restart. Mini Z's on NVIDIA, Dan San. So we need to address something real quick. Bossman said, at Son of a Tech, the starter mining rig would be for Doge and Shibcoin. Unless it's an ASIC, it's not mining Doge. And SHIB is a token on the Ethereum blockchain and not mineable. So that sounds like a scam, bro. Mini Z is NVIDIA only. But we'll swap to G miner. Yeah, I swapped to G miner. I think it's gonna have to download it. Let me look here. Yeah, it's downloading it right now. I may have to remove the... We'll see. We'll give it a second. Remove the memory overclocks possibly, though. Carl Baker asked what my thoughts on Alphium was, or Alf. I just had a video on that. You can check it out. All right, so we are cranking. It's showing 24 solutions a second. That's not very good. And it's getting worse. So we're not even getting what to mine shows, which is interesting. Let me check what to mine here real quick. So what to mine is saying that the 5700 XT gets 30 hash a second on Zell hash for the 5700 XT. But what we're seeing is the best card's doing 26 megahash or 26 solutions a second, excuse me. And the worst card's doing 19 solutions a second. I wonder where they're getting those numbers from. Let's look up and see. 5700 XT Zell hash overclock maybe. $5,700 XT G miner. So which one's memory? Memory's this box. So I'm showing G miner. If you set, let's see, what would that be? It's saying LOL miner gets more hash. And then it's saying to set the core clock to 1950 megahertz. So let's try it on 1. Doesn't that seem really high? And then what does it say on the memory? It's saying the 900. 900 on the memory. So yeah, that's right there. So apply that. Command sent. And then we'll see what happens here. Block Explorer says, would you use Next DNS to use Web3 domains? I'm not familiar with Next DNS. I mean, I know there's like what is it? The unstoppable domains. Really, you're looking for IPFS, which is already supporting Cloudflare. So 990 memory will crash, bro. Guaranteed crash. I think we crashed it with this 1950 megahertz on the core, though. Oh, there we got a share. Golly, 91 milliseconds. No changes. It's kind of hard to show it. That's the problem. So what we did was here, which this memory voltage is actually wrong. 1325, there we go. Why was it? Maybe that'll fix that. But that's the overclocks we were setting or trying here for this one to see what happened. Doesn't seem to change anything at all. Hold on. Nope. No change. Weird. I wonder if the overclock's not applying. What is it saying? No, it shows 1950 on the core right there, 900 there. Let's go ahead and knock the core down to, I don't know, let's go 1900. See, it's also showing 53 watts. Maybe something's wonky on that. Yeah, we could be having an issue with the... I mean, that's a good point. We could flash it back to the stock BIOS and see what happens. That's fair. That's actually a good idea. I think that's the best idea in chat so far. So let's do that. So what we're going to do is pop back over here. We're going to hit Hive OS, wallets, no, stats, flight sheets, cards, we go one. All right. Hit this. We're going to flash it back to the, let's see, Radeon 8 gig Micron. Is this the Micron card or, oh, crap. Cancel Samsung. $5,500 XT. Micron. 480. MSI stock ROM RX 5700. Maybe that's it. I know these are the MSIs, but this one doesn't say the memory. It's 5700X modded. That's the XFX. Micron. 480 Samsung. 5700 MSI. We're going to try this 5700 MSI and cross our fingers and hope to die. I don't know. This is probably a, because that's a 5700 too. That's not a 5700 XT. Ah! Which is, I guess it's fine. Are you ready? It's probably going to tank everything, bro. We're going to tank the whole thing right now. All right. No power limit is on ant farming. No, it's not necessarily the wrong BIOS. It should be an MSI 5700. It's rebooting right now. And then we'll just basically see if that 5700 comes back, build back better. I already had that that overclock website pulled up, Dan San. That is not better. That is worse. At least the power is getting reported correctly now. So it's showing 25 solutions a second now instead of 26. "23 solutions a second in the software." So that is not peanut oil. Showing the core at 1350 megahertz. So let's see if that'll fix it. I don't know why it's putting the core at 1350 for that one. Let's find out. It's at 1800 and then it went back to 26.4 solutions a second. So let's try the 1950 now that that's clicking in. And getting applied. I don't really have scenes set up for this. We're just kind of hanging out at this point, so bear with me. Hey, Jen's Innovations. Good to see you in chat. How you doing? Dave Jack, we don't use Discord. I don't have a Discord. 26 solutions a second. So really, there's no point in flashing this. So whatever. Let's look at some presets as suggested. Uh, 1600 core, 880 mem. Seems pretty low. 1600 core, 880 mem. Let's try it. No changes at all. No changes at all. Let's go ahead and try LOL. See if we can get it to update. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to edit the flight sheet. I'm getting text messages, so bear with me. We're going to go ahead and try LOL Miner. And see if this comes up again. Crypto Pope. We already tried 1950 megahertz on the core. I mean, we could do voltage, but I also don't want to burn my stuff up either. I think, so is it not, what's the latest version of LOL Miner? 1.46a. And for whatever reason, LOL Miner just keeps going like 0 solutions. So what we're going to do is we're going to update the image, and hopefully what that translates into is an update for LOL Miner that will hopefully get LOL Miner to work. And there was an update in there for G Miner as well. So it said G Miner, so we can get the latest G Miner as well, which is 2.83. So it's probably good anyways. Jim's Innovations, you need to stop messaging my replies all the time with your WhatsApp scams. Man, I'm still running. I run that tool, the YouTube spammer tool. I run it once a day, sometimes twice a day. But it's hard. It's a hard knock life, bro. We're waiting on an upgrade right now, essentially. Oh, connection closed. So at this point, it should be rebooting, I think. Says that it's all up to date. Oh. Detroit says, do you think LOLG Team Red Miner will ever catch Mini Z on Flux Solutions a second? I don't know what Mini Z is doing. It's very weird. Also, Team Red Miner, does Team Red Miner support Zel hash? It's not showing up in Hive as supported. So I'm actually not even sure if that's a thing. As far as this goes, LOL Miner, it's just showing version 1.46, not 1.46a. Oh, no, there's the version. It's on 1.46a, but it doesn't mine. So and now it's in a loop. I think I think that something's wrong with LOL miner. Yeah, I think that you only have, for AMD, you only have G miner and LOL miner support for Flux. And 26 solutions a second isn't going to cut it. Really. That's really bad. It's really, 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 really bad. It's really bad. Racco, I will never have a Discord server, no. If it was the clocks and voltage, you would expect Gminer not to mine. Also, we have removed all the overclocks and tried them and it didn't work. So I don't think that that's the case. I think that we probably need to reflash the OS if we want to use LOL miner. Go back to Gminer. The flux overclock. Here's the flux overclocks. So they got Gminer here. They upped the temp limit, and then they removed all the overclocks, and then got 36. So I guess we'll just do that. Oh, hold on. 29 solutions a second. Okay. Screen cap this. It's so bad. It's so bad at mining Flux. All right. We're going to remove it all. What did it say? Temp limit at 90. Where do you put a temp limit in here? Whatever. Apply. It does. Okay. It applied. No! 26! $28 solutions a second. All right, 28.7. 28, no improvement. All right. So, we know 1600 was good. So let's go. It's showing, okay, so it's showing 1350 is what the default would be, right? So we're going to go ahead, we're going to go to 1650. Core clock, apply. $16.50, 27 solutions a second, or 25 solutions a second. No, I wonder if it is a temp limit thing. Hold on. So, settings. Oh, where do you set the temp limit? Extra parameters? No. -T. -T. One, two, three, four, five, six. Apply. Update. All workers. Yeah, LOL miner's not working. I don't think temp limit would have anything to do with it, to be honest, though. Unknown argument. Oh, yeah, because we need to do -- temp limit for Hive. My bad. Yours is working now, Jim's? You're getting 30 solutions on LOL miner for 5,700 right now. So what does that mean I need to do? What version of LOL miner is it? We've tried it with a core clock off full metal. I'm getting 30 solutions a second now. And then it went back down to 28. "31 solutions a second now at 1650. Oh, sorry. 31 solutions a second now at 1650 on the core, 875 on the mem. Okay. So let's bump up a little bit more. Let's try to add the memory overclock that we know works on this. We got 900. Give it a second. $29 solutions. So we went down by overclocking the mem. Potentially. Yeah, okay. So we're going to take the mem overclock off. And then we're going to add 50 to the core. Finish the overclock on the core first. It looks like 1650 is our best bet, but let's just confirm. If there's no benefit to overclocking the memory, there's no point in overclocking the memory. Like 30 solutions a second, 29.8. So it looks like we lock in at 1650. Now, these are BIOS modified right here. So let's go ahead and check a BIOS modified one. Let's remove this, copy that, and do the 1650 here and apply. This will have mem timing changes or differences on this GPU. So let's see how it responds. No, you can't dual mine ETH and Flux. All right, we're seeing the changes applied to GPU 2 in the miner, and it went up by a solution a second. It looks like we want to potentially flash it back. So we'll basically, let's see. Yeah, so, okay. It's going up. Let's give it a little more time. Maybe we do not have to flash these. Let's give it a little more time. We're on the 5700 XT Igor on Flux, trying to see. I have a bulk majority of 5700 XTs. We're trying to see what we can do with Flux, essentially. What we found so far, at least in my experience, is memory overclock isn't really that relevant. Core overclock is, and potentially it looks like flashing the BIOS back to stock also has an improvement as well. Jimmy said there's a reflash with new tools that are out to drop power down more. What new tool is this? 27 solutions a second. You know, this might actually not need a flash. How are those people getting 36 solutions a second, though, is my question. Is that real? Is that really an attainable number on the 5700? It's like if we look at that website, they're saying 36 solutions a second, and I'm not seeing that. Gandalf, do I have any on building with a TB360 motherboard? No, I haven't done that one yet. Well, it's solutions a second, Wyatt, but it did go up to 28.4. It's slowly going up. No new info about light hash rate unlock, Coach Ninja. Henry, I haven't actually put together that rig. I was going to go out to the farm today and check it, but then we started fluxing around and look, shit got out of control. What can I say? Got out of control. We started fluxing around, and now I'm just trying to see if I can make my 5700 XT farm give me the goods on flux. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. To me, it looks like I might have to flash the stock BIOS back on all of these. Am I going to try MMPOS for VRAM temps? Yes, I am. C-Script says, that's Tech. Did you know you can liquidate Raven and withdraw cash with Binance US? Not regular, but the US version. Yes. Well, you can. I can't. I'm in Texas. While I wait on this to see what it settles out at, because it keeps going up by like 0.1. Check this out. Synology. LAN cable. LAN cable. I got to get a network card for my PC. I forgot to. I'll do that today at Altex. Power adapter. power adapter, keys, screws, .8 solutions a second. It keeps going up. And my 57s do like 54 to 56 megahash a second. Ooh, look how tiny it is. There you go. I'm pumped for this one, boys. .8 still. No, this isn't hard drive mining. This is my Synology for my little home NAS. $29. All right, boys. It looks like I do not have to flash it. I'd love to see that 36, but I don't think that 36 is going to happen. Do not think 36 megahash a second is going to happen. You didn't want to go QNAP? No, I didn't want to go QNAP. Guys always questioning. No, I didn't. And there's like literally a vulnerability that allows for ransomware on all QNAPs. I think I'll pass. Yeah, I've been deploying Synologies. Like, I was a cloud solution specialist, and I've been deploying Synologies for ages. I'm very familiar with the platform. That one is the DS620 Slim because I have a whole bunch of 2.5 drives, so I didn't have to buy drives for them. It's a 6-bay, 2.5-inch drive. So, you know, you don't get as much data on there, but it is smaller. And then I'll have to take it apart, but I got the memory upgrade. So I got, 16 gigabytes of 1866 memory to upgrade it with. And then we'll do 2 SSDs for cache. All right, I think 29.8 solutions a second is pretty good. What we're going to roll through is just overclocking, applying the overclocks to the rest of these. Do that. Ooh. 1600 is probably a more reliable starting point, but 1650 feels pretty good. We'll just wait for those to tick over. So, as far as decisions, the Synology, like I said, first of all, I have a ton of experience with it. Second of all, it's the home NAS server. It's not for the farm. The farm has two Dell 720XDs and a DL580. That will be what goes in at the farm for my server infrastructure for nodes, etc. At the home, this is like literally for sharing screenshots between all the test benches and the main PC, storing old video B-roll, that sort of thing. So that's why. What you notice is it looks like the GPU 6 is not getting the overclocks applied to it. It's throttling back down to like 1335. So we may have an issue with that particular card on the core. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this to like 1350 and start getting as far in as we can with it. But there's something wrong with that card on the core. It was doing fine on ETH, so the memory is probably fine. Maybe thermal paste on the core. We did already update to the latest Hive OS version, Crypto Pope. But maybe a downgrade. Ooh, look at that. It went down to 945 on the core. All right, now it went back up to 1150. Something's wrong with that last one. What we're going to do is just do a minor restart. You got a 1070 Ti for $50. Congratulations. Waiting on the restart. Oh, and the DS 620 Slims are $450 each. A minor restart doesn't look like it was a good idea, huh? A lot of businesses' old lease PCs had 1660s and can buy them in bulk. That'd be interesting. Oh. 19.30 for Linux. We're on the latest version of Hive OS. So I suppose my question would be, well, that's a good catch though, but my question would be, why did it not get the latest version when I updated Hive? I'm looking at it. You really can't update it because it's that it breaks it, remember? Try a reboot. Home Miner says have to reflash the SSD to upgrade AMD drivers. I've done the, so force the self upgrade from the deal. It's on the H110 Pro BTC Plus. It's possible CSM got re-enabled, which would cause some issues on the last slot. Through shell and do the Hive replace. All right. Well, let's wait for the reboot and then we'll give it the old college try. Wonder what. Yeah, that's on. Okay, that one's old. That one's old. That one's new. $194 solutions on a 1070. If that was the case, we better buy some 1070s because I'm only getting 30 something, 36 maybe. All right. Well, all of these except the middle one are at 30 solutions a second now. Middle one and bottom one. Hey, Steven. Yeah, I'm still here. We got distracted by fun. All right, we'll try a driver update. So I did it from the shell, but it says the system is up to date. So we want to do a Hive shell replace, or a Hive replace. Is that right? I did that wrong. Force safe, stable. Yeah, I guess we just do -s. I did do the force option. It didn't do it. So we are reinstalling Hive. Well, yeah, we're doing the replace. Well, if we do the latest stable, it should be fine, right? I mean, we could do the latest version. But doing the latest stable is not going to kill us as far as like the latest stable version should have the updated driver. Two 211.201. Let's go look. Install 212 stable version, AMD driver 20.40. It's right here. It says that version 6-212 stable is AMD driver version 20.40. There. Most 5700 XTs, Andrew, use 2mm pads. Do you know which model the 5700 XT was, Andrew? Oh, miner. Well, that's a fun question. Why not crank them to 100%? In a lot of GPU cases, you're going to be fine. With these MSI mechs, I experience a lot of fan failures. So that's why. Yeah, the MSI Mech OC is 2mm pads, Andrew. So you're not making contact between the memory modules and the heat sinks. The EVGA for the Win 3s are mainly, I've had issues with the thermal pads getting dry. I haven't had any fan failures on them. They're oily at first, yeah. And then they completely dry out because they lose all their oil. It's always the pad, bro. My back hurts. Oh. I'm going to sit down while this runs. We'll answer some more questions. Which pads did I replace for the Win 3s? Just the blue pads. Paul says, screw Metamask and Opensea. Yeah, we need to look at other options. I am going to do the tutorial on how to connect to a different platform on Metamask, but that doesn't really solve everything. Because of, it's really an underlying issue. We talked about it earlier. How did you notice pads were dry? Because usually the mem temps go up and then the hash rate goes down and then you're like, oh, guess I need to fix that. Yeti Crap says, I'm thinking of building an A2000 rig, but love how cool and low those 6600s run. What fan speeds were you seeing on the A2000? They'll go up to 90% pretty on their own. How many bytes is this? So slow now. 13 megabytes a second. That's what I get for using a USB drive, boys. I'm looking at submersion right now for all my MSI mechs. Detroit Irish says, Son of a Tech, are those cheap eBay and Amazon no-name GPU server cases even worth grabbing? 400 to 600-ish. I haven't tried them, so I don't know, man. I have a lot of the Rosewills. I like them. Like I have some Rosewills where like one of the fans has died on the MSI mechs, but because I have the server fans in the front, they still mine just fine, which is nice because that gives me a little time to where I'm still mining, but I can order fans. But I am so tired of replacing fans. Yeah, having a basement is nice. Chatbot's had a lot of issues with the USB flash drives. It depends on the flash drives. Like I've had issues with some flash drives and other ones have been going for over a year, no problem. So, I mean, obviously they say don't do it. Hive OS best practices. So I'd advise against it, but at the same time for price, it's just kind of just makes sense. Jacob says, that Son of a Tech, just jump back into the live chat. You're at work. You're going live for a long time. Yeah, we're just upgrading. Yeah, I hope they're going to send me one that's fixed and I want to hang it up. Or I'll take this one to Hobby Lobby and have them fix it. Because the canvas didn't tear. So maybe Hobby Lobby can remount it too. And then I'd have two of them. Stephen Cook said, do you use warranty when it's fans or just get the fans and put it in? I just order the fans and put them on. Texas A says, from the testing on Unraid, the Samsung USB drive seemed to be the best. Yeah, I've had really good luck with the Samsungs. SanDisks are fine. The PNY's not fine. Kingston, I just got a pair of. I'm going to give them a shot, but I don't know yet at this point. See you later, T-Gig. Have a good one, man. I'm still debating if I just move everything to Flux solo. Before I do that, I need to go up and test the... Yeah, before I do that, I need to go up and test the ping. And see which solo pool I get the best ping to. Because it looks like even though it's North America, our ping here was like 91 milliseconds. So I'll probably run up to the farm. I gotta leave here at 2:20 to get my daughter from school. So I'll probably run up to the farm after this is done and we're done kind of live streaming, see if this gets us better hash rate. Probably put this back on ETH for now, run up to the farm, run ping test to all the Flux solo pools, and then my only problem is right now, to be honest, is we're already on such a harsh margin. I have to have, let's see, power bills due on the 13th, and I don't have all the money for the power bill through mining alone yet for the month. We just paid rent, which was $1,600. We're doing like what? We did 170 yesterday. And I got 2 weeks. Andrew Molina says that's not a tech. Currently most profitable pool for Ethereum. Crazy pool. We just looked at that today. Provided your ping to crazy pool is good. Happy mining. It's rebooting. So let's see. If we could get back up to 200 a day, and my Bitcoin miner's down. So we're not getting the 20 a day from that, which really hurts. We need 7 days to pay. So really, how much did we do so far this month? Let me look. I'm telling you guys, margins are crazy. Like you got to be so careful right now. So careful. Two, 400. $740. We're about halfway to paying the power bill on ETH. Best Buy has a few stores getting Founders Editions. Nice. Yeah, I don't even know how much I can really upgrade right now. That's the other part. I have access to some 1660s for like, or not 1660s, 6600s for like 300 a pop. Could pick up 3 of those. That'll cost me like 900. But the margins are so skinny that I want to make sure I have enough saved up to pay for power before I buy anything. So like that's kind of what I'm rolling on, right? Is like I am converting all the ETH to Bitcoin as soon as I'm getting it right now. Kind of for those reasons that we talked about during the live stream, you know. So this is really interesting. We have one card. It's not coming on at all. And another card that keeps downclocking. So, as you can see, 31, 32 solutions a second, 30, 31, 28, and then this 19. This one's really weird because I'm not seeing, granted, yes, okay, the core temperature is technically higher than everything else, but it should, in theory, be hitting that 90-degree limit before throttling. My question is like, I don't know. Something weird's going on there. And then the other one, this one's just not picking up at all. Holy shit, Steven. Thank you for the 300. What the fuck? Now you just de-sized me. Man, thank you. That means a lot right now, bud. Thank you. Throttling is done by the hotspot temp, says Texas Ace. Yeah. No, you're good, Steven. I just can't. Look, I drop F-bombs. That's what I do sometimes. And then that's how I normally talk. I just always have to remind my son not to do it at school. He's like, and I'm like, not at school. All right, I'm going to restart the miner now that we turned off the overclocks on that one. And see if it'll come up. So we know we can get like 30 solutions a second. Is there anything you wanted to plug, Steven, or anything, by the way? Mustang Boy with the $10. Thank you, sir. Texas A says, Asamatech hotspot is not shown in Hive. Yeah. No, I know. Hold on, I'm gonna... Why can't I figure this out? It's not killing the miner. Alright, let's try to force it through here. Yeah, I mean, it's probably time to replace the pads, right? Or the paste. Trying to force it to restart the miner. I think it did now. Oh, and they did that thing where it hangs. But you can see we do have the right driver version now. Super chat's going off. If this was Twitch, would it be one of those hype trains? Thank you for the $5. Super chat train. What's up, Waz? Always good to see Waz in chat. All right, look. I'm going to bounce this rig. I'm going to bounce it. I'm going to bounce it hard. Reboot. So, I think moral of the story, 1999, Wyatt Pendleton, Back when America was great, the year 1999. Release of the only good Matrix film ever made. Release of Deus Ex, the only good Deus Ex game ever made. 99's where it's at, bro. Cyberpunk ruled. Email encryption was top notch. John McAfee was at the top of his game. It's all about 1999. Hey Impala, yeah, we've been fluxing around, you know, just fluxing around. Chatbot with a $4.99 for the demonetization plug. Thanks. 1999 facts. Release of your boy. Are you that young, Justin K? I've had my gamer tag longer than you've been alive. I was all on that Counter-Strike 1.6. The 1.6? I feel like 1.6 was actually later. All right, we got to look at this. We got to look at this now. It's been so long. My years start blending together. Stop it. This is my problem. I have ADD and I love it, but I'm like looking up the history of Counter-Strike. Tell me, sir. Yeah, so 1.6, 1.5 was the first one, right? 1.4 was the first one, but that wasn't even until 2002. That's right. It's 2002, Steam launched, grabbed that gamer tag, we were off to the races. Before that, it was Unreal Tournament is what I played a lot of. I was Unreal Tournament for life over what was the other one? Doom? Quake. Excuse me, Quake fans. I know. I've played Quake. Just not as much. Alright? I think Unreal Tournament was better. Metal Miner coming in with $10. Thank you, good sir. And Vince Russo, $99.99. Threw out the old Earl Shives. Thank you, guys. Holy shit, man. Thanks for the support, guys. Panzer with 10 euros. You need to convert those euros. Thanks for the $10. Thanks for the lessons at night. There you go. Are you always watching at night? Team Fortress. When did Team Fortress launch? I used to go play at LANs when I did a lot of Counter-Strike. There was one close by. All right. Look, good news. Good news. All of the cards are mining Flux. Bad news. We clearly have two cards here that are having temperature issues. GPU 2 is at 24.4 solutions a second. It's hitting about 1321 megahertz. I'm assuming it can't go above that because we would see 1325 at the very minimum base clock usually. And then if you look here, this is kind of interesting. So like we have some really good performers on the overclocks, like 1620 here. On that one, 1612. Looks like really probably lock in the cores at 1600 across the board. We got to go fix these two. Essentially, you can see they're also the hotter ones, 75 and 74 and 73 and 78, which doesn't sound bad in a mining farm that's hot as all heck. But I think we know. Okay, so we know that a 5700 XT will do 30 solutions a second. Yeah, fair enough. So let's correct that. So 30.2, 30 solutions a second. We are getting better power numbers than that. Well, crap. Now I got to close that connection. Hold on. Thanks for all the donations, but I don't need you guys logging into my shell. That's what she said. All right. Don't you dare log into my shell, boy. All right. 96 watts. YetiCraft says, my son is 10. He wanted to play Counter-Strike. I was like, I wonder if my account is still good. Sure enough, you got it. Sasquatch crap logged into Steam. There you go. 96 watts. 100. Let's just say 100 watts. Let me compensate. Right? So we would do, let's compensate. These are on platinum rated power supplies on 220. So let's say we're getting, let's just compensate for 10% failure, or sorry, 10% efficiency rating. So we'll do 100 watts. Oh, this is easy. Well, let's just say they're all at 110 watts. Right? Right. So 110 watts is a little bit better than what they're showing there. Let's calculate that out. Whoo, buddy. 56 cents a day. That does not look good in What to Mine, does it? I don't think that's a leap I'm willing to take. I do not think that's a leap I'm willing to take. I gotta flash this GPU back. Was it Samsung memory? Samsung memory. Right now we'll just throw it back on ETH. Let's fix this memory clock. We're just gonna go 880 across the board. That was fun though. Did you guys have fun? I had fun. Feel like I know a lot more about Flux and the 5000 series. Feel like I learned a couple things. 1600 megahertz seems to be right where you want to be at. You want to be at I'm just going to go 880 across the board and bump this back over to ETH. Bam. Missed a ton, Impala. Yeah, I don't know that you could really get... You know what I'm going to solo mine? You know what I'm going to solo mine? Do you want to know? You know what I have to solo mine? The only thing that makes sense to solo mine with my current farm configuration. Can you even take a guess? Do you know what that is? Do you know what we're going to solo mine? It's dead. Do you know what we're going to solo mine? You're probably right that it's dead. You know what we're going to solo mine that isn't having any spikes from NiceHash? That I can liquidate easy? That I can liquidate real easy? That performs well on 5700s? You know what it is? Bam! Mic drop. ETC! Complex doesn't perform well on 5700s. I know that for a fact. Look at this. 25.9 terahash. We got some difficulty drops going on. What are these boys pulling off at 2 miners solo, huh? What's happening over here? Let's go ahead and take a look. We have USA solo mining servers from 2 miners. Yes. What kind of blocks are we getting, bro? What are these payouts looking like? 3. I don't know. Seems bad. How much hash does this thing have? No, I want to know how much hash you have. And how many blocks you're finding. 7.45 gigahash a second. And he's making $453 a day. Hold on. Hold on. Called it. This is what 7.5 gigahash a second makes on Ethereum a day. Boys, I'm deleting the rest of this. He's doing 15.8 Ethereum Classic a day. It's saying that's $453 in the past 24 hours. Don't you dare tell anybody. I wish I wouldn't have streamed that, because now I'm like genuinely hold on, just to make sure. ETC to USD. What's Ethereum Classic going for right now? $28 a pop. That's not a lie. Yeah, let's look. So, do we do payouts? Oh, he had a big one right there. Fair enough. So for 3, 4, 3, 3. Okay, 3 3s where we want to look at, right? So there was this big one. So what's an average one? But there's another big one on the second. Lots of 6 reward solo blocks. But how much hash was he at too? On 228, he had a bad day. Bad days on 226. He just started hitting a lot of blocks. So definitely a spike. Let's go ahead and look at a couple others. Let's see what else is going on here. So this was F7. Let's look at this guy's. All right. 2 gigahash a second. $272 a day. That's more than I'm making on ETH. Three blocks on the third. Holy shit. But then he didn't have any till 225. But then was he mining for that whole time? All right, let's look some more. What is this guy doing? Huh? 862 mega hash a second, 3 ETH, ET Classic, $90. He had one on 3.3 and on 3.4. Look at this lucky dude. Look at this lucky dude. What is going on? All of these are lucky? Are all of them lucky? 300. Oh my God. What is this? 350 mega hash a second. $182 in the last 24 hours. 6 ETH. 1 block, 6 Ethereum Classic. No! No! How lucky are you guys? What is going on? All right, come on. One of these guys has to be like super unlucky, right? 1.5 gigahash a second, $90. I feel better. It took a while to get there, but I feel better. I feel better. Delete the stream, start solo mining. Yeah, it's funny, man. Why is this so fun? I don't know why looking at other people's solo mining is so fun. 9% luck. He's only been mining for 2 days. What? If he had 1.6 gigahash on ETH, he'd make $60 a day. Instead of that, he's making $90 a day. And he's hit crazy luck. Look, it started out as a joke. But now Look. Look. Hit like a few blocks in a day on 5 gigahash. Easy to liquidate. No problem. Low fees. Chatbot noticed an incredible improvement solo mining by scrapping the ISP's router and switching to an enterprise router. Haven't even messed with the quality of service yet, and latency was cut dramatically. Nice. Chatbot said, Detroit says solo mine flux for 10 days 2 weeks ago, hit 0 blocks. Looking for group. Henry says, should I move my rigs to solo mine ETC? Bro, I'm not making that call. Not making that call. Okay? I'm just thinking, you know, haven't been having a good week. So either I have the chance of making a better week by solo mining Ethereum Classic, or how many people are watching this stream? God dang, there's too many of you. Or I could have, you know, I could keep having really bad luck, and I'll have that 98% luck. Look, there has to be like, oh my God, I'd have more gigahash than everybody except for these guys. What the fuck? Look at this guy. 69% luck, 0 payouts in the last 24 hours. This is me. This would be me. What's his payouts look like? No payouts. When did he switch over? Average hash rate, 9.22 gigahash a second. He just switched over. Which one of you all just did that? I've got my eye on you. Get that hash out of here. Move it. Stop. Someone just moved 67 workers to Ethereum Classic. Who did that? That just happened. Who did that? You sneaky bastards. Sneaky bastards. Not even questioning it. Yes, there is a point where solo mining is risky. Sticking with Conflux solo. I can't do it. I got 5,700 XTs over here, bro. Oh, fuck. Hold on. I'm not doing anything. Don't worry about it. Mind your own business. You go find a different coin to solo mine, all right? You go find a different coin to solo mine, okay? This isn't for you. This is for the OGs, okay? Don't tell bits. you just hold it right there, sir. Don't look over here. You didn't get to see my flight sheet. Look, we're gonna try it for 24 hours, okay? I don't want to hear any complaining. What's the difference? Look. What's their high diff limit on this? Okay. Heard. Bro. This is a terrible idea. Lordy, lordy. I mean, worst case, we're down a couple days. We have like, how many? I have 2 weeks to pay my power bill. If I'm not making enough, I have to switch over by what day? If I'm not making enough, I have to switch over by the 7th. We have 3 days. We have 3 days. Plenty of time. Three days. 3 days. Yeah, it was. We made 2 days. The problem is that doesn't come in until the 22nd of next month. So I still have to pay my power bill. But yeah, thanks to you guys. I got the support. We're golden. We'll get there. How many rigs does it say online? 12, 15. Should have 16 online. Let me check my workers here. All right, it's just updating. And we got to move these over as well. Which, by the way, for whatever reason, that one hasn't been working. But we'll leave these on there till we hit that 0.1 ETH payout level. But don't worry about it. Snitches get fan failures. Snitches get heat waves. Yeah, this is really risky. I just moved the whole farm over. That's really risky. Hold on. There's no spike. We're fine. There's no spike. For some reason, I'm only showing, let's see. Let me put these side by side. I'm only showing, so that's online, that 1660 Ti's are not online. So 1660 is online. Okay. 3600, 5800X, fix. Octo 12, Ergo 1, Ergo 5, 3070, $30.90. So it's the Ergo 9. Edit. Looks correct. Yeah, this is saying I have one rig that's not popping up here, but it's all good, mining company. That's some of the tech. What does Rich Dad Poor Dad say about the bold? You know, I really should probably reread that. It's been a while. I don't know if it means risk your entire family's ability to pay the bills in that, but why would I ban Techie Rod? He's my boy. We play Halo together. I don't know why it's showing such low hash rate. I guess it's all building up, yeah. Can you put 3 GB cards on Ethereum Classic? Yeah. I got some 1060s to go build, boys. Halo game night next weekend. I'll try to make one. We'll try to make a Halo game night next weekend. I won't stream it though. I don't like I like to play on my super ultra wide, but we can set up a deal. Three gigabyte cards won't work. Damn. $225 gigahash. How do you have 225 gigahash? Is that good? Yeah, stay on ETH. Alex Dua says, wait, what is going on? You doing solo ETC? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. ETC DAG is 2.99 gigabytes. So in ETH, on Linux, it might work, right? I'll try it. Don't worry about it. We'll try it. But it wouldn't work in Windows for sure. But yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. We're not doing anything. Our farm's just plugging along. I'm solo mining Shiba Inu. With this new NB miner. 440 terahash on Shiba Inu. No, you're fine, Alex. Look, we have a little bit of an inside joke running at this point. I really actually do have to run to the farm. Well, at this point, I feel like I can't because I don't know if I have enough time. But I needed to get B-roll of that case and install GPUs into it. But at this point, I'm feeling like I don't have enough time to do that. That's not good. I really should be getting that up. Yeah, I have to get my daughter, but I don't have to leave till 2:20. So I have like 30 minutes, or I have 50 minutes. I could get to the farm in probably at least get B-roll done for you guys. And I need to pick up drives for my Synology because the drives are at the farm. Making your day go quicker at work? Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go get those drives because I want to build my Synology tonight. I gotta get B-roll on the Synology too. Do you guys want Synology video? I would probably do like a 3-parter. We could do the hardware upgrade first, which is going to be we'll do the hardware, which would be the upgrade for the memory to 16 gigabytes and the install of the drives. And we could do software configuration afterwards. I got to get a NIC for, so I can connect and set up iSCSI for faster read and write speeds. I'll do direct attached storage. So it'll basically be a DAS, not a NAS, that I share from my main computer, I think. See, though, if my main computer's turned off, which I do a lot, and I want to drop stuff to it, man, you know what I really need? I need another switch. If I had another switch and then I did a NIC upgrade on my main computer, I could feasibly go 2 from my computer and iSCSI that to like an iSCSI switch, basically convert it to an iSCSI switch. 2 from the Synology, iSCSI it over there. 1 to the main network and still have connection there. I'm going to figure out how I want to do it. Let's call it building a... Bro, if anybody used the Synology to build chia farming, what a waste. No. No, don't do it. That hurts me. I don't want to think about it. I'll see you, Jim. I'm about to head out too. You guys have any more questions? I'm about to head out. I do want to say super thank you for all the super chats today. That was amazing. Made my day better. It's been a little bit of a rough week, but we're getting there. Let's see how this solo mining goes. Yeah. Give it a couple days, see what happens. Still not showing my full hash rate, but I'll come back and we'll check it. Got no shares either. Longest stream yet? Yeah, Rad, it was. Great One says, as I'm a tech, what do you think of Ethereum Classic with the 5th inning coming up? I don't know what the 5th inning is, to be honest with you. Is that a reduction in rewards, I'm assuming? Well, hopefully everything goes good. Yeah, a switch upgrade wouldn't be bad because I think these are, hold on. The DS620 Slim is just the 1 gig, right? I believe. Yeah, 1 gigabyte RJ45 port. 2 of them. So throw those in iSCSI. I'll probably be fine with my PC on the 2.5 gig port. Then it won't really matter. I don't need to do iSCSI on that. Then we'd be good. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell to watch me fail at Ethereum Classic solo mining. Don't worry, we'll be reporting in on it. Keep your rigs off my ETH. I'll see you next Tuesday. The test bench isn't showing, is it? Nope, it's not. It is not.